Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Ocean's Pit, the little show about big things. I hope you guys are having a great day today, folks, or a great morning at least, and you're ready for a great day. It's Ocean's Pit, little show about big things, Monday through Friday at noon, lunchtime fun, folks, and we got a great show lined up for you this whole week. Check the website, TonyOceanMusic.com, and give us a call at 847-769-8609 to book a show. Every show is dedicated to the first responders, the men and women in the military, our veterans who fought for our country, but mostly it's dedicated to people like you who take the time to watch the show. Lunchtime fun, Ocean's Pit style. Let's go to work. That's right, folks. It's Monday, and hope you guys are having a great day. Boy, we have a lot to talk about today. Man, it's a beautiful day out. It's not quite fall yet. I was hoping it's a little cooler. I hope this past weekend that we had, because we had two stuff that was outside. I wish it was just a little cooler. But hey, it'll get there, folks. Absolutely. Let's get right to our sponsors, Ace Hardware. Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local, guys. 50% off all Weber Spirit and Traveler grills. $100 off Weber Genesis grills. Get 25% off any regular price item under $50 or $12.50 off any regular priced item over $50. Free $10 coupon with the purchase of a $50 coupon. And buy select Milwaukee One M18 power tools and receive a free M18 red lithium battery, $169 value. 25% off all key start replacement keys. Always be prepared with a spare key. That's our friends from Ace Hardware. Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. I want to thank my guest on Friday. Of course, Wendy Thompson from Imperialux was there. But we want to thank Scott Asher, and local author, has a couple different books underneath his belt. But the one he talked about was Walter Payton's Roundhouse Philosopher. And pretty cool. It's got a lot of short stories. Go to Amazon.com and get the book. And thank you, Scott, if you're listening, and pick up the new Walter Payton book. All right, we're going to start. What an incredible weekend we had, folks. I mean, we've been very fortunate with everything going on. Very, very cool. I was back at Chicago Prime. I wasn't there for 2 weeks. It was nice to be back over there and seeing everyone up. Thank you so much, Dick Sayed, and the whole crew there, folks. And thank you, Daryl Armstead. My good friend, my prayer, George, of course, from Chicago Prime Stoush. A little under the weather. I think he's going to be bouncing back and back to normal as he always does. A great man, and you can't beat him down, man. That old school mentality is what keeps some of these older people alive and running and doing what they do, and that's what George has. All right, so Saturday road trip. Got up early. We took a drive. I had to go down to Galena, Illinois. Actually, the hotel is in Elizabeth, Illinois. The Galena is in Galena, obviously, and Forget About It Vineyard and Winery is in Andover. So they're all about 15, 20 minutes next to each other. But the Forget About It Vineyard and Winery, if you've never been there, it's in the middle of nowhere, actually. I mean, you're driving and thinking, where am I going to find something? And pow, comes this little gem out of nowhere. They make their own wine, obviously, and they got a little restaurant there, and they got cheese and crackers and all that stuff, and they got a big outside patio where they have the live entertainment. They have the dinner shows. I think it's our third year with Ocean's Rat Pack, and I think I did 1 year by myself there. Very, very cool, man. they just do an incredible job. And again, I need to thank Vicky, her sister Veronica. I want to thank Rosario, her father, of course, and her parents over there, her husband, everybody putting it all together. They do an incredible job, and their staff, of course. Tony and Brittany from Cucina Bella supplied the food. And you know what? Here's how it works with Ocean's Rat Pack. I'm going to tell you how it works. When we go do theaters or wherever we do a show, whether it's outside festival or it's an inside theater or it's an inside intimate restaurant, banquet room, that kind of thing. That's our favorite, is the theater or the restaurant. When you're playing those outside festivals, it's cool and all, but you just don't get that intimate, get all the crowd and the audience around you and everything. But how it works is, we start the song singing, all three of us. And of course, people seem to love the first song, like Be a Lady. And then Dean Martin, which I play, come out and starts the show. And if they get the first joke, how'd all these people get in my room? Oh, this is my first drink in my left hand. If the audience is laughing to those two jokes, most of the time, 99% of the time, it's going to be a big success. Because they laugh at those two, you know what kind of mood they're in. You know they're ready to have fun, and especially if they have a few pops in them. So, again, it was a great turnout. First of all, Vince Amore opened the show as Tony Bennett. Great job, Vince. And, of course, Elliot Winbush, Bill Saratella, Double T, Tony Toto taking over the reins Saturday. Did an incredible job. And Karen, thank you so much. And everybody that was there. Danny Mazzi and Robin, Armando Supermarkets, thank you. It was a great turnout and a big success. And we hope to be there next year. So that was Saturday. But Friday, during the early evening, before I did Chicago Prime, I had to go to the city, a place called the Darcy Hotel, beautiful hotel. And we did a wedding for Michael Shelby Genovese. So good. It was a lot of fun in that rooftop. Very cool. Very 5 to 6. But it got it quick. It took me 45 minutes to get there. We played an hour. It took another 45 minutes for me to get back. So technically, we were driving longer than we were actually performing. And that was, so before we get to Sunday, let's see if anybody watching here, if I can get this baby to watch this. Of course. Oh, it's a typical Monday. It's slow, and no matter what we try, folks, we're hooked up to the router, the main router here, folks, and it always seems like we have some sort of delay or thrower or everything switches, and I don't know. Hopefully, we get a little better. I can't even get in to see who's watching right now. Oh, there it is. Love. Good afternoon, Ryan. Lewis Dennis, how you doing, buddy? What's going on? Everybody, great seeing you all today here on Ocean's Pitch. So let's get to Sunday, September 14th. I had to make a list because of all the great stuff that was going on. Carl Doty and Paula Doty, Melrose Park, have been doing St. Jude's benefit, I think, for at least 15 years, 20 years. I've been proud to say that I've been involved with at least most of them. Jeff Hunt, what's up, buddy? Congratulations on Night to Remember, pal. I love the line when you say, how did all these people get in my room? Well, thank you, Jeanette. Great seeing you, too, at St. Jude's on Sunday, Jeanette. Thank you. Anyway, so they've been doing it a long time, right? And the staff and the volunteers and everybody that puts this big thing together, it is good. Yesterday, thank you so much, Carol. So it was the 16th year. I remember we were doing the first one. It was like, real small, maybe 100 people, whatever it was. But I remember it was a lot of fun. So let me just get down to the thank yous. And everybody that was involved in this event was over the top and over the top. So, I'm going to make a list here, folks. First of all, thank you, Carl and Paula Doty, for everything they do. Jimmy John's Hot Dogs. Every year they're there. And you know what? I think they won the $2,300, whatever it was. I don't know exactly how much money they won. But in fashion, in most fashion, when it happens at St. Jude's, the winner, if they ever win money, 99% of the time they end up giving it all back to St. Jude's. And that's what Jimmy's Hot Dogs did. Very, very cool. And then the people that had the booze tent, or when they were selling the alcohol, they made like $700 or $800 in tips. They took those tips and gave it to St. Jude's, which was pretty cool, I think. I know they gave away 2 trips, one trip to Florida, one trip to Arizona, I think, 2 Night to Remember packages, which is pretty cool deal. Congratulations, my buddy Jeff Hunt won, and I don't know who won the other one, some guy named Joe. I guess on this piece of paper, all he wrote was Joe. But that was fantastic. Congrats, Phyllis Shahajas with her carrot cakes. I think she sold out completely on that. The Honey Bears were there. They did an incredible job. I want to say hello to Raffaello and Jackie from Ace Hardware. It was great. Jack Vana Landscaping for sponsoring also. My buddy Carlo. Of course, my wife Laura with Bravenly. She had a lot of people inquire about this health product that she had. So I want to thank Jim and Kathy and Shelly. Thank you guys so much for helping Laura and all the people that showed up over there. Also, a big shout out for Natalie, her breads, Mama D's breads, which did very well, folks. And also, if you're still interested in those breads, folks, especially for fall or Thanksgiving and Christmas, pumpkin apple spice, caramel apple, pumpkin chocolate chip, they're $11 a piece. That's a big one. That's the regular size. The minis are $6 and 2 for $10. Get them for your fall parties or holidays while supplies last. Contact Natalie Bosch through Messenger or 847-533-0400. And they went very well as well. Let me turn this over. Okay, so that was fantastic as it was. Of course, the food, pizza and beefs and sausage and pasta and all that stuff was great. Ron Onesti, Richie Onesti organization on sound, an incredible job as it is. Especially, I mean, I'm going to shout out Carl and of course, Carol Brandolino and her family. And Gina and everybody, they busted their ass out there selling raffle tickets, putting these Night to Remember things together, man. They busted their butt. Carol had her kids involved, and they did an incredible job selling everything. Everything was sold out. That's how great this event was. It was just a well put together, and that's what it's about. It's amazing how many people come together when it comes. Now, there's a lot of charities. I do a lot of charities during the year. But when it comes to St. Jude's and it comes to kids, it doesn't make a difference. Everybody comes and puts it together. And then, of course, then we had the music. The entertainers did an incredible job. John Anthony and John Trancali stepped up and said hi and sang a song. Great, and he does in Italian. I haven't seen John Trancali in a while. It was great seeing him. Of course, Regina Karma kicking it out as always. Thank you, Reg, for coming up and singing some backup with me during my set. Stephanie Lemon-Bringner did an incredible job. Bill Saratella from Oceans Rat Pack knocked it out. Elliot, it's a miracle. True. Anyway, he did a great job with that. Everybody did a great job. Nick Sahaj is the piano man doing his stuff, 70s song, of course, all that great stuff that he does. Ronnie B.L. was kicking it off as Elvis Presley. Double T Tony Toto and the band, thank you for donating your time and being part of it. Danny Ramundi on saxophone, thank you so much. Jumpin' Jerry Jams, who was DJ and MC, he was there all day. I mean, he had to get up there early and set up everything, so he was there all day. Everybody did an incredible job, and pat yourselves all on the back because it's a good thing. And at the end, we try to come up with songs to do at the end. We think we did We Are the World. We did a bunch of different ones. But me and Nick were trying to sit down and and we were just thinking of Imagine by John Lennon. It's a sad song. It fit the time right now. I was tearing up. I was tearing up when I started the song off and all the other entertainers were backing up with the vocals. I was tearing up because it's a sad song for me, being a big, giant John Lennon fan. And of course, how he died and everything like that and everything that's going on. And I also want to say something too, if anybody was offended by it, hey, that is what it is. One thing you're going to know about me, there's the good and bad, right? And either way, it is what it is. It's not done to ruffle feathers. It's not done to do anything. On my Thursday night show, I gave a little shout out to Charlie Kirk and his family. Ocean's Rat Pack at the end of the night on Saturday when we sang My Way, dedicated to the family of Charlie Kirk, Charlie. And at the end of my set at St. Jude's, I said to Charlie Kirk, and at the end of the Imagine, I said to Charlie Kirk, you would be surprised how many people came up to me and said, "Man, thank you for doing that." And some people want to keep politics out of it, and I totally understand that. That's what you're supposed to do. I got it. But you know what? It's just me from my heart. You get the good me, and you get sometimes you get the whatever me. But it means a lot, and but everybody coming together for the St. Jude's benefit was a great deal, and we'll see. I'm God willing, I know we'll do it again next year. And speaking of another St. Jude, Chris Minardi, how you doing? Yeah, I say what I feel, and sometimes that's sometimes it's called free speech. Thank you, Boyd. I appreciate that, buddy. And look. Somebody got killed, just like we said. Somebody got killed. Somebody got shot. Somebody got assassinated. It's these two kids have no father, and the wife, of course, doesn't have a husband. It's not like someone lost the election or won the World Series or lost this. This is something serious, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. But thank you for that. It's called free speech. You're absolutely right. And but anyway, what a great event was, and of course Nick Sahajas and Phyllis, they do their St. Jude's benefit. They're not doing it this year. They're going to do it May of 2026. It's going to be in Gurnee, Illinois. It's a beautiful hotel. I forgot the name of the hotel, but we'll get more information as we get. So there will be another one. And of course, God willing, Carl Doty and Paula will be able to do another St. Jude's again next year. So very, very cool. It was a good thing. All right, so we got a bit kind of not that busy of a week. We had a Thursday night cancellation, but Wednesday we're speaking of fundraisers, and you know how much I do fundraisers. I love it for kids, for police officers. We got one in October we're doing for the police officers, Back to Blue, and two we're doing one in December as well. But we're doing one this Wednesday, coming up on the 17th of September. We'll be at Kelsey's Roadhouse. It's a beautiful bar in Barrington. It's got a giant outside patio, huge. They're going to have dogs that you can adopt. They're going to have two giant outside bars. They're going to have food. They're going to have split the pot. And I'll be entertaining and the MC along with Double T Tony Toll. I think that starts at 7 o'clock this Wednesday. Thursday we have the night off. Something got canceled. Friday I think it's a private event at the Royal Fox Country Club in St. Charles with Ocean's Rat Pack. Now let me tell you about the fun weekend we got, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be for the last time this year for the summer end of the summer shows. We'll be at the Getaway French Country Inn this Saturday, September 20th. Outside 6 to 9. 6 to 9. That's going to be this Saturday. Yours truly and Double T Tony Toto. And then Sunday, me and my good pal, of course, Bill Saratella, we're going to be at the Italian Fest in Kenosha, Wisconsin Italian Fest. That's going to be from 4 to 6. And here's the best thing about Sunday. When me and Bill do the show together, it's always usually Frank and Dean. I play Dean, he plays Frank. Not this Sunday. Bill will be doing his stuff, whatever he wants to do, and I'll be doing my stuff. So I will throw in a little Dean in there, but we'll be throwing some of our other songs that people like when I perform. So it's going to be me and Bill this Sunday, Kenosha Italian Fest in Kenosha. Look it up from 4 to 6 on Sunday. All right. So, wow. How much more can we thank here? So finally, just an update on my mom real quick. Her schedule is the 22nd of October. It's a Friday. They will be taking my mom in, and she will be getting a valve replaced. Everything came back. I'm taking her on the 14th of October to get her AKG and get the last blood work with it she's got to do. But then she will be doing the operation on the 22nd or 23rd of October. I'm sorry, this glasses. Anyway, so we're excited about that in one way because it's going to help my mom feel better because she's always dragging and tired, and that's because it's all clogged. Not clogged. She doesn't have a clog. It's just all blocked and stuff. She needs to get rid of that. You know how that is. So thank you. Ellie Weinhardt, Carol, how you doing, everybody? Again, you're watching Ocean's Pit, a little show about big things. Can we get to another sponsor if we can? How about my good friend Mary Grievous, folks, right? When you're thinking about real estate at its finest, you got to go with my friend Mary. Mary. Don't just call me when you're ready to buy or sell. Contact her when you're considering buying or selling. She's your forever agent. M. Grievous at StarkRE.com. Berkshire Hathaway Stark Real Estate. Give her a call at 630-688-1725. Also, if you're talking about Mary when it comes to real estate, we're talking about the Chicago Music Cruise. Now, guys, it's a couple months away, and we still got a couple rooms left of the special pricing. So jump on that phone or a computer, whatever you got to do. But it's called it's Chicago Music Cruise number 3 for me. There have been many more. This is my third one with, I think, the greatest band out of Chicago, of course, that's Seventh Heaven. So it's going to be Seventh Heaven and Tony Ocean, the main event band. It's going to be the MSC World America, January 17th to January 25th. A brand new ship. Okay, guys, it's 7-night Western Caribbean cruise. Miami, Honduras, Costa Maya, Cozumel, and Ocean Cay. Ocean Cay is an island owned by World America. It's going to be a lot of fun. They match. They will take discounts off your price for your Royal Caribbean points, which is very cool. You can use on the MSC, which is cool. Also, if you want to come solo, you can get charged for one person in one room. On the Royal Caribbean, you wanted to come by yourself, you still had to pay for double occupancy. So you don't have to do that this time. Go to chicagomusiccruise.com, put in Tonio, or give Mary a call at 630-688-1725. Say, I want to go on the ocean with Ocean. And Seventh Heaven, January. Not far away, folks. Not far away indeed. Karen, how are you doing? Daryl Armenstad. Peace of mind, too. Absolutely, Karen. I think we all need pieces of mind. I agree. All right. So what else we got? There was so much stuff that I left out in the last couple of days. So I think I'm just going to get down to some of these old stories and old stuff that we didn't get a chance to talk about. According to Fox 32 News, and like I said, with everything that's going on with this crane, we're going to get to the whole, we're going to get to a lot of stuff. So let's just put it this way. You don't know, and I think Boyd might have said something, and I took a copy. I took a copy. You know, when I get my stories online, if they're not sent to me, I go online and I screenshot my stories. And I'm just, that's how I remember the stories. And then I do them live to you guys. And I'm just trying to, he put something on this page. I think it was Boyd. Here you go. Here's exactly where I agree with, and I think most of the people in this crazy world. Reading between the lines, searching for truth is exhausting. My opinion is that intentionally, deep down inside, you know what's true or what is shit. But that can only be on what your beliefs are. Remember, I also think that if it's anything that happens now, and it's got on the conservative side, if you hate it, if you're a liberal Democrat or whatever it is, and you hate the conservative side as it is, it's probably 100 times more hate that side because of President Donald Trump. I said this from day one. I think if you took Trump out of the picture and it was just another Republican president, I don't think it'd be as crazy, as nuts. It would still be nuts, of course, but not as nuts. So that's just what I'm thinking. And, it's just like I said, thank God that we've got, that we can come up with some stuff here and there. And yeah, I mean, I'm looking at some of this crazy stuff that we're seeing. It's just nuts. But here's Fox 32. Could it be true? I don't know. Guys, listen to this. House Speaker Mike Johnson claims, House Speaker Mike Johnson claims that President Trump was an FBI informant exposing in the Epstein case. Now, do you remember? I don't know, man. I wouldn't put it past. Remember Whitey Bulger? Was it the guy in Boston? One of the biggest crime guys and never got arrested. And then you find out years later he was an informant for the police, for the FBI. This is Fox 32 News. So I don't know. You can't believe anything anymore. Searching for the truth is exhausting. And you know what? That should be on a T-shirt, like most of the stuff that Boyd says. Put it on a T-shirt or a greeting card or something. Yeah, and Elvis was a federal agent. Well, I'm just saying, Boyd. I know what you're saying. Elvis, right. Nick, whatever. I'm just saying. It's out there. It's out there. And I believe you guys. I read a lot of books on mobs stuff, Cosa Nostra. And you'd be surprised when I read the Whitey Bulger book. Also, if you've seen the movie with Johnny Depp, that's true. That's fact. So no one ever thought that he was. So I don't know. It's crazy, but it's just something else that we're going to throw into the fire and see what happens. Okay. Also, it's National Robert Day. Anybody named Robert? General, if you're watching, happy Robert Day. Pope Leo declares the very first computer whiz teen, well, of course, when he passed away, the first millennial saint, Carlo Acutis. I want to make sure that I pronounced his name right. But he died, of course, of leukemia. Just sad the way this world is. And, of course, CEO, President Kevin, whatever his name is, with the Chicago Bears, their goal is to host a Super Bowl by 2031 in Arlington Heights. Now, this doesn't mean that the Bears are going to be in the Super Bowl, but they will have, they're hoping to have a Super Bowl in Arlington Heights. I mean, it would bring a lot of revenue. A lot of revenue. Now, some people will be happy with it. Some people not too happy with it. But it is what it is. Absolutely. What else we got here, folks? Let's get to some other crazy stuff. Rick, how you? Well, Boyd, wait a minute now. I don't think the Godzilla was real, but I think some dinosaurs were real. I just don't think they came into Japan and to destroy the whole town. You got to give me a break here. You got to give me a break, my friend. All right. What are we talking about? What do we have here? Big Macs, McDonald's. It's lunchtime. I don't eat McDonald's, but this is interesting. The Big Mac went from 50 cents to $8. They lost about 40% of the actual burger from 1980 to 2025. If you've seen, you remember when you'd go out to eat somewhere and you'd get a menu of a restaurant and you'd sit there and you look at this menu and if you see the generous portion of plate or whatever it was like this, boom, 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 boom. And then when it comes to your plate, it was like, right? So this is McDonald's. I mean, granted, I graduated in 81, so it is a long time ago, but still, I mean, McDonald's, you think they're getting a lot of slack too. I understand everything's going up and everything like that, so it gets a little crazy. All right. The question, I think I might save this for tomorrow because tomorrow's Twisted Tuesday. We have Carol Brandolino on there. But you know what? I might just bring it up again tomorrow because I want your opinion. Patrice, great seeing you and the Honey Bears. Great job. Peace and love. I know, Boyd, brother. I know it's from your heart, pal. That's what I mean. That's why I think we still watch each other. Anyway, Patrice and the Honey Bears, great job. And you know what? Not only were they taking pictures and stuff, but when they put the pom-poms and they were doing all this stuff. Very, very cool. All right. So, guys, Let's talk to Boyd, Patrice, Ricky, or anybody watching here right now. Dennis, Jill. Oh, Jill, happy birthday to your mom up in heaven, my friend Jill in Indiana. Happy birthday to your mom, Jill, up in heaven. All right. If you were offered, here's the question, guys. We want to see it, Carol, everybody that's watching, if you're still watching, guys. You're offered $20 million. You're offered $20 million to push one of your friends down the stairs. Do you do it? $20 million. $20 million to push one of your friends down the stairs. Now, here's what I'm thinking. If you tell your friend, but you can't, you could say, oh, let's split the money. There's my buddy, Jerry Jams. Great job, Jerry, you did on Sunday. MCing, sound, DJ, all the stuff, man, putting it all together. Great job, Jams. All right, Carol, $20 million. Who are you pushing down the stairs? Now, you can't, look, you could say to yourself, if I tell my friend, hey, I got $20 million, push you down the stairs, and you can have $10 million. The question there, Boyd said done. He will push one of his friends down the stairs. It's $20 million, folks. The chances, now, we don't know what kind of stairs. It's not like 3 stairs. It's got to be like, a big stair thing and push. Now, the guy or girl could end up getting killed. And you get $20 and you go to jail. Right? So I don't know. $20 million to push your friend. And Carol, think about it. We're going to ask you again tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, very cool. What I'm seeing also, folks, is all what this is like again, yeah, Jerry, I did mention it. Jerry said he would never push anyone down the stairs. Okay. But some of you said you would, some said you wouldn't. So there's all our twisted minds. It was, and Jerry, I don't know if you missed it, but we did talk a lot about St. Jude's, and everybody did do an incredible job. And it was very cool. And thank you for the people that came up to me afterwards and saying thank you about the Charlie Kirk. There was a lot of people that might have frowned on it. I really don't care. Like I said, you have to take the good Tony Ocean and the bad Tony Ocean. That's what it is. But thank you for the people who did come up and say thank you for that. I appreciate it. Because we did it at Saturday too in Galena, and people clapped, and we did it. So it was cool. It was the right time to do it. All the stipulations come to play. Boy, you're getting ready. All right, so you got to get another story with Fox 30 News. A former Arlington Heights nurse. She was misappropriately touching kids and stuff like that. This is a nurse in a school sent to prison. I mean, it's like, what, it's like I have to say to myself, like, and we say it every time on this show, and when you guys probably all say the same thing. Then you would blame Joe. Only human. Thank you, Jerry. I think it's human too, and some people that frown on it. It is what it is. It would be, but what I'm trying to say is, yeah, I mean, right now when we hear something on television or we hear something, it's like years ago, and we say this many times. We used to say, "Oh my God, oh my God." We don't say that anymore. I mean, when they took a shot, if you were watching the Charlie Cook thing and you seen the video, that was pretty weird. That was like, oh my God. Okay. I think if you were watching anybody that you liked, whether it's political or somebody on stage, and you've seen somebody that happened to, you're going to say, oh my God, no matter if you're a fan or not. It's just a shocking thing to be there. If they die from the fall, the money means nothing. There you go. That's okay. It's surprisingly, it's 50-50 with our audience here. 50 said they'll push them down the stairs. The other 50 said they wouldn't. So I don't, it's holy cow. How about if we phrase the question? If you can push them down the stairs without getting caught, now we'll see what happens. Anyway, I think I might have mentioned some of this stuff. Artificial sweetener right now, they're in ages your brain 1 to 5 years. I think we kind of knew that. Fortune tellers. Fortune tellers. I got to ask you guys, fortune tellers. Now, do you believe that they're out there? Do you believe that people can really? I know the astrologers. I know we're trying to work on. Carol's trying to work one of her friends from coming on. But I mean, fortune tellers, though. I don't know if there's the same. I know the astrologers read your stars, your signs, but a fortune teller reads your whatever, your palms or anything like that. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that too, Jerry. Thank you. Here's a woman who went to go see these fortune tellers, and they get hooked. They believed it. And I'm not saying they're all crackpots. There could be some ones who really know that whole mind thing. I don't know. I'm sure there's power out there. This woman turned over $45,000 to remove a curse to a fortune teller. And the fortune teller took the money, said, I'll get rid of this curse. The story, though, when you read it, it doesn't tell you if the curse was lifted or not. It says that the woman turned over $45,000 to get rid of a curse. So I don't know. Just make sure you don't go down the stairs. Make sure you don't go down the stairs first. Peace and love. They can never predict the correct numbers. Lottery. Good point. Good point. You want to talk about your Chicago Bears, and I was going to save that for last, but whew. A lot of people are saying I would rather have drafted J.J. McCarthy instead of the guy who paints his nails. And paints his nails got nothing to do with it. That's just a joke. Whether Williams' nails were painted or not, he still sucked, at least the last 2 games. Yeah, so interesting. Oh, my God. Here's some good news, I guess. Because we sang the song Imagine at the end of St. Jude's, if you were there, of course, written by Mr. John Lennon, of course. And the crazy guy that assassinated him, it just came up on the news this past weekend that I think Mark David Chapman was his name. He was paroled. He was denied parole for the 14th time in a row. Good. This guy should just die. They should have fried him a long time ago. Just my opinion. But of course, I'm also a little biased because of me being a huge John Lennon fan. One of the great quarterbacks of all time from the Philadelphia Eagles, Ron Jaworski, quarterback, passed away this past weekend. Another guy now, and here you're talking about me. You know, I love cryptozoology. If somebody doesn't know what cryptozoology means, it's the science of animals that were not proven to exist. They haven't proven completely that they exist. That's called cryptozoology. Loch Ness, Bigfoot, Yeti, Mothman, ba 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 ba. But Jeff Melbourne, if you followed that, he was one of the scientists who actually believed in it. He was one of the ones who actually got more credibility from the way he put out the book, the Bigfoot footprints and stuff like that. So he just passed away too. We're going to miss him. I used to love watching him on those shows. Yeah, very sad. I just watched Charlie Sheen on Netflix. I always liked Charlie Sheen. I always liked him as an actor. He's a very good actor. Yeah, he got crazy. women around him. He partied, he drunk it, everything. And you know what? He came clean. If you watch this one, it's on Netflix, folks. It's a two-parter. He came clean. I mean, there was no punches. I mean, he took all the blame for everything. You know, the Heidi Weiss thing, the HIV, all the parties and all this. I mean, it was pretty cool. But he said he lost his virginity to a prostitute at the age of 15, and he charged it on his dad's credit card. Charlie Sheen admitted on the show that he lost his virginity at the age of 15 on it using his dad's credit card. And you know what was interesting? He had a couple friends on there. He had Sean Penn talking. He had his ex-wife, that actress Denise Richards. She, they've been divorced forever. She still loves him, but she was on there telling it like it is. And then his other second wife said she was fucked up on the shit like he was. So it wasn't all his fault. It was kind of blah 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 blah. His older brother, I think Ramon, was on, but Emilio did not show. He was not on the podcast. I mean, on the Netflix thing, and neither was his father, Martin Sheen. But very, very cool. But to lose your virginity at 15, I think I did too. I was 14 or 15 when I lost mine, but I didn't use my dad's credit card for a prostitute. Mine wasn't a prostitute either. But I mean, it's just funny. Snuck his dad's card and got a prostitute at the age of 15 years old. Oh, they're back together again. Okay, there you go, Jerry. I seen him embracing at a movie festival, but I don't know if they were actually back together. So there you go. All right, Boyd, there you go. There you go. I didn't want to do this today, but okay. Okay. That's what I love about you. Always likes to stir the pot, my buddy Boyd. You know what? I even have a drink with this guy. We got to hook up and have a drink. Anyway, we'll talk about that. Okay, another question. Why do people turn red after drinking alcohol? Now, here's how dumb I am. I actually thought it was an Irish thing. When you were Irish, they were drinking, and their face turned red. But no, that's not true. I have a lot of my Irish buddies. I look at them, I go, how come your face is all red? I thought it was just an Irish thing because they have white skin, Completely wrong. Because their bodies can't take it down properly. And that's why they get the red blood pressure or the red face or whatever it was from drinking alcohol. I did not know that. I learned something new every day. Let's see here. I got married that many times. Congratulations, anniversary to Daryl and Star, right? Congratulations to you guys out there. All right, we're talking about the Royal Caribbean. The Royal Caribbean cruise line that 2 years ago, 2 years in a row, because you get screwed. There you go. A Royal Caribbean. You heard about this story now? I know friends of mine who gamble, right? And I sent them the article. I don't know if I get heated up from the red wine. Here's Gina. Hey, Gina, you guys did a great job. You, Carol, and Carol's kids, they did an incredible job. I talked to Gianni for a little bit. Good kid, man. Good kid. It's because you're supposed to swallow. You're supposed to swallow the booze. Anyway, so the man, People Magazine, the guy went on Royal Caribbean. He was a gambler. He lost like $16,000. Couldn't pay it, whatever it was. Whatever, I don't know what happened, but he jumps off the ship. Now, when they found him, supposedly, he had $14,000 in cash on him. He had 2 cell phones, and he had 5 different IDs on him when they caught this guy. To avoid paying a $16,000 debt he lost, he jumps off the ship. But when they catch him, he had $14,000 in cash on him. Obviously, was soaked. 2 phones, and 5 IDs. So this guy must have been doing this all around. 5 different personalities. 5 different identifications, 5 different people he was. Weird. Wow. 64 years ago, this was Friday. 60 years ago, Friday, Bozo aired for the first time on WGN. So I always loved that show. Still do. Actually, there's a guy, Bozotism is like when you're hooked on Bozo and stuff. He's got a Bozo book out. He used to run the Bozo Museum here in Illinois. And we're going to, Tom, I forgot his last name, but we're going to try to get him on the show. Also, we got my friend Rob from the band Generations is going to be on the show early Wednesday. And then Nick Sahajas supposedly is going to go live from Abbey Road Studios in England. He's recording some songs at the same studio that the Beatles recorded in, and many other acts. So that's Wednesday. Nick Sahajas is coming on there too. And then Thursday, we got Carol with me, of course, on Twisted Tuesday, but Carol is going to be with me on Thursday too. And our guest is running for State Senator Tommy McIntosh. So it'd be kind of cool to talk to him and what he thinks and his thoughts on what's going on in this crazy world that we have. It's Ocean's Pit, little show about big things, folks. Yeah, holy shit is right. It's time for another sponsor, folks. Bob Bill. That's but as they say, how do they say? I don't know what they say. Danny and Robin. I want to thank Danny and Robin for showing up and Forget About It. Vineyard and Winery this past weekend. Armando Supermarkets, 925 Liberty Street in Elgin, Illinois. Buy local, shop local. I want to thank Tommy Vena, Jack Vena, of course. Their monthly maintenance programs: bush trimming, spring, fall cleanup, bed mulching, fertilizing, weed control. They offer plant design service installation, servicing the northern Illinois area for over 50 years. Tommy was also there at St. Jude's, and thank you, Tom. He was a sponsor. Call my buddy Tommy at 847-432-5266. Also, let's get the weather, folks. The weather for today. I was up this morning. It was chilly this morning, but by like around 8:30, it was starting to get hot, and I had the long sleeves on. I had to quit. But anyway, I caught one bass today. Anyway, the weather for today, that's Monday, September 15th. It is 81 degrees there, folks. 49% humidity, 5-mile-an-hour winds. It's sunny, a little hot out there, and no rain in the forecast today. It's going to be another beautiful day today in the Windy City, Chi-Town. We went through those 2 notes. Now we can concentrate on some of the. Let's go back real fast to also today is World Day of Encouragement. Anybody going down on some hard times right now? Days of encouragement. Reach out to somebody. Let them know everything. Tomorrow's going to be another day and everything's going to be fine. That's World National Day of Encouragement Day today. We were talking about football. We'll talk about that. The Bears coming up. That Carrie Underwood, right? Carrie Underwood. She sings, that stupid, when she comes out for Sunday Night Football, she does that stupid song. Robert General, I hope the grandkids, I hope they won on hockey this past weekend. And great seeing you and Jan Friday. Bob Bell, Original Bozo. That's right. Peace and love. All right. Get this. She gets up and she sings one song, right? Isn't it like at the beginning of the show, of the NFL thing or whatever? And then, I don't know, she do it at the end too. I don't pay much attention to her, but guys, she makes $18 million for the season. She's not even playing. She doesn't have a uniform on. She's not playing. She's not going into the locker and going off on some of these guys. She's singing one song. $18 million. This is what she makes a season. Fair for Sunday night or whatever it is, right? $18 million. And Jerry said it earlier in the day. A gentleman that I knew very well, was a good governor too, I believe. Jim Egger did pass away. this past weekend. Our prayers go out to the Egger family. Dies at the age of 79 years old. Also, boxer Ricky Hatton passed away this weekend, and another great musician, Boyce and Hart. What she's doing tonight? They wrote a lot of great songs for the band The Monkees. Of course, Bobby Hart now has passed away. And Tommy Boyce committed suicide years ago, but it was Boyce and Hart. They were a singing group, but they also sang and did a lot of the background vocals and played a lot of the instruments with the Monkees. So Bobby Hart has passed away at the age of 88 years old. All right. Let's talk this whole Charlie Kirk thing. You're watching some of the video stuff, like what's going on, and you suppose either if you're pinpointing on one guy, what you're talking about, Taylor Swift could sell used tampons. What are you talking about? Taylor Swift could sell used tampons and make money. Oh, boy. You're right, pal. You're right. But the Kansas City Chiefs lost 2 in a row for the first time. So the curse, you ain't got the refs that can buy their wins like they did last season. So that's a good thing. Chiefs lost. Rodgers didn't look too good, but he looked better than Williams. Justin Fields, very close game, but lost. My Giants, great close game, lost to the Cowboys, but I went to overtime. But we'll talk to the Bears. We're going to finish the hour with the Bears. Anyway, if you're watching the video, they're showing supposedly some guy in a white shirt and a white hat doing some hand signals, supposedly. Could have been to the shooter. I don't know. You heard about this? That's just some of the new stories that are coming up now before the shooting. I am very happy to announce people getting fired by the day. A bunch of school principals, a pilot from Delta, was it? Or American Airlines, they just fired them guys from rejoicing for the death of Charlie Kirk. A lot of business people. I mean, there's 2 people in Chicago alone, in the Chicago suburbs. One guy from Highland Park owns a business, and he was happy, and I guess he's getting some slack. The guy owns a record store in McHenry, Illinois, getting some slack for celebrating the assassination of a human being. But this was Charlie Kirk. And that Matt Tabor was the guy with the long hair with the hat cheering after the guy got shot, after Charlie Kirk got shot. They show that one guy in the video. They call him Matt Tabor. What's wrong with these people? And now, look, this kid's going to get the death penalty, I believe. Utah has the death penalty. We talked about that. His parents were conservative. He was conservative too, I think, years ago. Did he go dressed as Donald Trump for Halloween? I don't know. Last year or the year before. I'm not quite sure. And he's dating a transgender. That was his boyfriend or whatever the hell it is. Whatever. And you know what I've been getting? I'm going to tell you something. I think Gina might have shared this. A couple people might have shared this. And I believe this too, guys. I believe this too. And you know how I am. I'm definitely, I'm conservative. And I'm not afraid to talk about it. But I do believe this. And I think even people that are not conservative or liberals, I think they're getting to this point too. It's now no longer blue and red. It's no more blue and red. It seems like it's humanity versus insanity. That's what it's coming to. People are dying. Damn is right. It's just crazy. It's just completely nuts. The Chicago Bears lose 52-7 to 21 against the Detroit Lions. I remember my friends who are Bears fans. This new coach. Oh, look at the magic he did with the Detroit Lions. Oh, this is going to be a whole new team. And that Williams, oh, whole new team. It's going to be fantastic. First of all, I've never been a head coach. It's different. I don't think that Williams, their offensive line is a little bit better than last year. Their defense is horrible this year. Did you see the Williams on the sidelines laughing and giggling when they were down 31-14? Do you remember Eli Manning, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, all of them? You remember that, Boyd? I love that, brother. That's the same thing as, yeah, I mean, it's good. Whatever happened to right and wrong? This, you want to take a drink? Go ahead. You want to throw a drink on somebody? You're wrong. I mean, I know what you're trying to say. You're absolutely right. It's a simple question. Simple question. You are absolutely right, Boyd. But I was talking about Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Tom Brady. When they were not playing, when they were like on the bench, on their sidelines, they were reading their books. They were talking about the plays. They see these new generation of quarterbacks. They're sitting there laughing, and that's what Williams was doing, laughing. You're losing 31. You're getting demolished. Your career is ruined. You know, it's one thing when you lose and you're humble. And you're on the sidelines going, man, I hope I can be better. You know, you get to the sidelines, hey, you had a bad game, or boy, am I screwing up? I don't know the system yet, whatever. I need some help. That's one thing. People are going to look at you better that way. But when you're sitting there going, I can't believe I'm losing, but I'm still making all this money, you're an asshole. Case closed. Williams can't hold on to the ball. Take some three. He's got coverage. Got better coverage than he did last year. He just can't throw the ball. And then he made a comment last week. He goes, "What do you want me to do? I throw it to him. You want me to go out there, run out there, and catch it too?" Bring Bagent in. I know they bought Bagent in the last couple plays of the game, but I guess the morale in there was crushed. So I don't think Superman could have helped him with those last three plays. I don't know. Do you give him one more shot against the Cowboys next week, or do you start Bagent off? I don't know. I don't know, guys. Do not know. Cher, of course, the great singer Cher, her son Isaiah Blue committed overdose. I don't think he's passed away. From what I read, he just overdosed, but I don't think he's dead, if I'm correct, at the age of 48 years old. So let's pray. If I read the story right with TMZ, Cher's son Elijah Blue. And if people wondering how ICE is doing so far, They've responded. They've got rid of over 200,000 already illegal aliens. ICE has already done that. I think they're doing their job. Someone mentioned about this whole Titanic thing, about the movie. Was it an accident? Was it not an accident? I don't know if you read books on this mystery theory and stuff, that it was planned. I don't know. We'll get more of that into another show. Pinstripes, downtown Chicago, going bankrupt. Bankruptcy they filed for. Crazy, isn't it, folks? You never know anymore. All right. So what do we got? We got some other gigs coming up. Busy week, like I said. Almost Home Foundation for Dogs this Wednesday at Kelsey's Road. This Wednesday with Kelsey's Roadhouse. Saturday will be at Friday. We'll be at the Royal Fox Country Club with Jerry Jams and Ocean's Rat Pack. Saturday we'll be at the Getaway in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. And Sunday we'll be at the Kenosha Italian Fest. What we got next week on the Wednesday, the 24th of September, we'll be at Rosario's in Roselle. On the 25th, we'll be back at Positano's in Oak Brook with Jerry Jams and Lisa P. The 27th September, returning to Taverna on Division outside patio. It's going to be good with Double T. Going to Arizona, folks, October 5th, we'll be at the Dolce Restaurant in Scottsdale, 847-687-8222 for reservations. This Saturday, we'll be in the morning, we'll be taking a part of the Sister Cities float for the village of Elk Grove Village. Me and Tonio and Jerry Jam's going to be helping us out this Saturday. We'll be on a float. It'll be very, very cool. We've done a lot of things for Sister City, which is also a part of the Gulo family. So that'll be fun this Saturday as well. And then Tony Ocean and Friends concert. It's going to happen Sunday, November 9th. We're going to give you the whole list of all the entertainers that's going to be performing. It's going to be a lot of fun. Ron Onesti said we'll get the tickets up on sale Wednesday or Thursday this week. So it's going to be very cool. Very, very cool. All right, we'll talk more about this stuff tomorrow. Tomorrow is Twisted Tuesday, folks. We have one sponsor still left. Of course, we're talking about my good friend Wendy from Imperialux. Imagine putting the money to work for you, becoming your own bank, and making your dream retirement a reality with guaranteed lifetime income. Wendy Thompson, Craig Cogman will help you create personal pensions, grow your wealth, secure your legacy. It's never too late to start. Take charge of your financial future today. 630-890-1213 or book them on Canley for a free consultation. That's Imperialux with my good friend Wendy and Craig. All right. Danny, great seeing you and Robin, buddy. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of that Jack Daniels. Woo-woo. That was a lot of fun. Mel Lennon Reed, hope you're doing well. Long time no see, my friend. All right, so we got all that stuff coming down. We're coming to the end. Remember, tomorrow is Twisted Tuesday with Carol Bandolino. Wednesday, my good friend Rob from Generations, the band Generations, will be there from the very beginning of the show. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, Nick Sahaj is live from Abbey Road Studios in England. Nick and Phyllis, he's recording a couple songs. They're his own songs, some original songs there. So it should be very, very cool. Hopefully get Nick on. Thursday, Carol will be back with us at Toxic Thursday. Also, guys running for state senator, Tommy McIntosh will be joining us on Thursday. Busy week, busy stuff. Let's get to our sponsor again, our good friends from Ace Hardware. The Ace Minute, quick update on grub worms. Be advised, they're looking in your yards right now. Those end of the summer hot days when it's damp and cool at night, that's when they come up and they nibble on the roots of your grass until they eat all the roots and the grass is dead. Well, at JRC, a group will stay on top of them and get rid of them on their tracks, giving them a dousing of Broad Advanced Grub Killer Plus, available at all 7 locations. Kills grubs in 24 hours. And guys, don't forget to download the Ace app. All new Ace app downloads receive a $10 coupon just for downloading the app. That's Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. Proud sponsor of Ocean's Pit and the Columbus Day, October 13th, Columbus Day Parade. The Tony Ocean Float. It's going to be a lot of fun. Birthdays for Monday, the 15th of September. Don Powell from one of the great bands Slade, 79 years old. Christy McNichol, remember her from Family, 63 years old. Ludacris, rapper, 48 years old. Dennis Stefano, former lead singer of the Buckingham, celebrating a birthday. Tommy Shaw from the Chicago band Styx and Damn Yankees, celebrating. Neil Peart, one of the great progressive rock drummers from the band Rush, would have celebrated a birthday. David Clayton Thomas, 84 years old, a great voice from Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Dick Biondi, great radio man, celebrating a birthday. Peter Cetera became the singer of Chicago after Dennis Stefano. Happy birthday. Stan Wozniak, from my old boss and my good friend, Mr. Stan Wozniak from Jilly's, celebrating a birthday. Rosanna Zakuro Caputo. Roseanne Caputo. Happy birthday if you're listening, honey. And one of my dear friends, and what a singer she is, The incomparable Regina Karma celebrating the birthday. Reg, I hope you have an incredible birthday. God bless. Nick and Phyllis, if you get a chance to listen, I hope you're having a safe trip to England and enjoy Beatles. Yeah. So very, very cool, guys. What else can we say? We got a great show. Just come out this weekend, this week, folks. Wednesday, if you love dogs, we love St. Jude's, and it was for the kids. Well, this Wednesday is like for St. Jude's, but it's for dogs. It's the Almost Home Foundation at Kelsey's Roadhouse this Wednesday, 7 o'clock in Barrington, Illinois. Split the pot, 50-50, giant outside patio, huge. I mean, big bag. You almost look like you're at the Ravinia. That's how cool it is. 2 outside bars. They're going to have dogs for you to adopt. Double T, Tony O. It's going to be a lot of fun for Almost Home Foundation for Dogs this Wednesday, the 17th. This Friday, Ocean's Rat Pack will be at the Royal Fox Country Club in St. Charles. And Saturday, my last show in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin for the summer, the Getaway French Country Inn, 6 o'clock to 9 with Double T, Tony Toto. And Sunday, me, Bill Saratella, and Dean Saratella will be at the Italian Fest in Kenosha, Wisconsin, 4 to 6. Guys, thank you again for the great job, everybody from St. Jude's. We can't begin to thank you for all the hard work that everybody did out there. We're proud of everybody. We're proud to be part of it, and we continue to be part of St. Jude's. Buy local, shop local, support local establishments, support live entertainment. Be kind to everybody, folks. If you're offended with this show or anything in life, just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right. Just be kind. It's a tough world right now. It is. Everybody's going through something. So just be positive. Do the best you can. Ringo Starr says peace and love. Peace and love is what we need. Right and wrong, there's a difference. All we can do is pray for a better day. God bless you, everybody. Have a great day. Nick, tomorrow, Twisted Tuesday. Carol Brandolino's back. Let's go, Nicholas.
Time to go, it's the end of the show. See you later from Tony O.
Peace and love, everybody. Thank you for watching. Yeah.